Hello and welcome back to the lab. Today on the bench we have an impromptu patient. In this case, this is actually a pretty critical unit for us here in the lab. This is the card that actually drives the YouTube channel, or one of them. This is my main RAID card out of my CAD computer, and it's been acting strange the last couple of days. I have gotten a backup done off of this unit, so I'm not in risk. I am not at risk of losing any of the data. However, the card keeps falling offline, and the software can't see it. The RAID array, to make some of the video editing a little bit quicker, is a RAID 10 array with, I think it's 4 terabyte drive, so it's 8 terabytes in RAID 10, or 8 terabytes formatted. So playing with video, drive space goes away very quickly. And this isn't even 4K video, this is 1080p. This is an older card I bought used. It's got, oops. Well, that's going to be part of the problem. It's got SAS sockets on it. Each one of these sockets can support 4 drives or an expander. It's also got a battery pack. I'll just pull that off. It's got a battery backup unit that needs to be on for right back. But given the fact that the card's working, but it's kind of flaky and things like that, the first thing I usually check on these is the thermal paste. As these things age, the thermal paste dries out, it becomes less effective, and the chips can overheat. I've actually had servers that have refused to post due to a blown fan on a NIC. It instantly overheats it was a 10 gig network card. It instantly overheated the network card, took the server out. So just some of the things we have to fix. What we're going to do is we're going to clean this up, IPA, clean this up, again, IPA. We have to be really careful with computer thermal grease. It's different from electronics thermal grease. The white transistor grease that you see on individual transistors and things like that is not really conductive. This stuff, especially the high performance stuff, is very conductive. The Arctic Silver has a very high silver content. It is very conductive. You can blow stuff up, short stuff out, and cause everything a very bad day. So all thermal pastes are not created equal. I would recommend staying away from some of the liquid metal stuff that tends to be gallium, or it tends to have some gallium in it, I believe, and it really likes to eat metal. So I typically do not use liquid metal on things, but we are definitely going to clean up this factory thermal paste and see what we can do and see if this card will live again. As I have been told, people would like to see some of the cleaning stuff that happens, and this will already be a short video. We'll go ahead and do this. 99% isopropyl alcohol. You'll go through a couple of Q-tips doing this. Now, the weird thing with heat sinks is they have a grain in them. Let's see if I can... I do need a trash can. One other word of caution about some of these computer thermal greases is especially the silver lace stuff. It will stain like you would not believe. I've had peripherals, I've had countertops, I've had a lot of stuff stained with that stuff over time. So this is really chunky. It's coming off in big blobs. Yeah, you'll never get this metal 100% clean again due to there being a grain structure in the metal. It's not really lapped. You can kind of see the striations going this way. In some of the higher performing heat sinking applications, you can hone the surface of the heat sink, get better contact, and therefore more performance. Now, I do want to be a little bit careful. I do not know if this is conductive thermal paste or not, but we're going to clean it all up. Isopropyl's not going to hurt the board, but if I put thermal paste where I don't want it, that could potentially hurt the board, and I don't want to get any of the isopropyl or IPA under the Angry Fire pillow. Get off of that diode. Some of it has gotten away from me. Some of this server hardware, if you need computer hardware, some of the server stuff has gotten really inexpensive, especially if you have a rack, 19-inch server rack or audio rack. Sometimes the audio rack's the gear's not deep enough to go all the way in, but rack mount gear tends to be really relatively inexpensive. Everything looks good. So I will see what the lab has for thermal paste. See if we can get this thing working. We have a little bit of Arctic Silver 5. This is the fun silver bearing stuff. Highly conductive. Will short out the world if it gets in the wrong place. But silver is a great thermal conductor. Any left? Nope, that tube's empty. I can see the plunger at the bottom of the tube, so that's toast. What else do we have in the bin of thermal paste? I got some MX4, and we'll use the Noctua stuff for this. This is actually a pretty high thermal, high-speed chip, so it does need some cooling. To get the heatsink off, there is a wing plunger on the back. You push down gently, pair of pliers, squeeze the wings together. And what happened is when I did that, the whole heatsink just fell off, which let me know the thermal paste was toast for sure. I do not know if this is the problem, but this is definitely a problem. So we're going to fix this first, see what happens. And if anything else comes up, I will let everyone know. Got a little bit of thermal paste on the rail. Now I'm also, because this is nice and flat on the workbench, the pins aren't grabbing very well, so I'm going to push down gently to spread that thermal paste out. And I can actually see through the die that we got decent coverage. The camera is not going to pick that up. We got decent coverage and none of it came out the sides, so it's not going to short anything out, but we got a little bit of lint here we'll get out of the way. All right, let's see if I'm in for a raid card. Hopefully not. This card does see a lot of abuse. Rendering video is not easy on the drive stack. So there's a lot of traffic that runs through that board. Well, we'll spin around to the back side of the lab as Windows finishes starting up. It does look like we have our RAID disks And I do have my backplanes, my drives, and controller. So if we look at the physical controller, we have our battery backup, our 4 or 4 terabyte drives, the RAID controller, which is a LSI Mega RAID 9260, and we have a battery backup unit. Checking the logs, everything looks good, temperatures look fine. The battery backup was giving me some errors that give me pause. I may need to tear that battery module apart and replace the lithium cell that's in there, because it's telling me the battery is aged out and is getting ready to need a new one, which is not too bad considering the age of this RAID card. So we'll see if this holds. We're going to beat it up because I have now 2 videos to edit. This will be a quickie. So this will not be part of the normal release. I will put this out in between. Hopefully this holds. If it doesn't, we'll take a look at it some more. If it does, great. For now, I am cautiously optimistic. So with that, I'll see everybody in the comments. As always, like, share, subscribe, and I will see everyone in the next video. Bye for now.